What's the reason you have been banned from an establishment such as a shop, bad restaurant, cafe, etc.? Got banned from the mall when I was younger, because I wore an inappropriate shirt that I bought in the mall. I was doing a history project on Poland, and it was well known this teacher gave an extra letter grade for bringing in food from the country. A friend from my previous school brought me to a bakery that made kolacs that his family loved. I ordered one for my class, paying a deposit and specifying the day I was due to present. I ran in before school to get my order, and the woman behind the counter, the manager, told me that whoever took my order never sent it. There was no kolacs in the store. Despite me presenting my invoice and pointing out the date they agreed to have it, she refused to refund my deposit on the basis we can make you one for tomorrow. I had to call the credit card company and dispute the charge that way. A few days later, my friend called me and asked why we were both banned from the bakery. Was banned from a mall arcade when I was a kid for holding all the whack-a-moles down. When I was 12, my favorite thing to do was play laser tag at the one laser tag place in our town. I'd go every Friday night and play for 3 hours or so. There weren't many other regular players, so nobody else was getting better at it like I was. After about a year, I was just wrecking everyone, and the owner ended up banning me from the place because it was driving away customers. It really sucked because it was favorite activity and I was just immediately cut off from it. 6 years later, I found a place in another city that had other players that played regularly, so I was able to start playing again with people at similar skill levels. I got banned from Six Flags Great Adventure, NJ, several times in the early 90s. Back when I was in high school, season passes like $40 or something, making it a no-brainer to buy one if you intended to go at least twice. My friend and I went probably 5 to 7 days a week since we lived close by. We knew the park and its operations better than pretty much anyone who didn't work there, and eventually grew too comfortable with taking shortcuts through employee areas, trying to climb things we shouldn't, bothering other guests, and overall being a bunch of New Jersey teenagers, aka jerks. Thing is, the only IDs we had on us were our season passes, which we always assigned fake names for no pre-planned reason. Summer of 1994, my pass said Oscar Schindler. We eventually got in so much trouble they would take our passes and tell us we were banned for life. Well, another $40 at the front gate and boom, back in a Zitzokstern. They needed at that time to figure out the flaws in their system. This is how I got banned from Chuck E. Cheese. I figured out that I could take a ball from the game where you shoot the clown's teeth and use it at the skee-ball machine. The skee-ball machine would count the points, but not the ball used, which enabled me to play forever with just one ball and max out the machine. I did it on 2 skee-ball machines before someone noticed and I got banned, kicked out. I got mistaken for somebody else. Whilst on holiday a few years back, I popped into a local shop to grab a sandwich and drink, and a staff member forcefully marched over to me and yelled, "You're not allowed in here. I've told you before," as she grabbed my sandwich and bottle of water from me and put them back. I of course tried to protest and explain that I had never been in there before and was a visitor to the area, but she gestured for the security guard to come over to escort me out and stood watching us from a distance with her arms folded and a smug look on her face, occasionally shouting, "If she doesn't go, I'm calling the police." Thankfully, the security guard was a little more understanding about the situation and happily looked at my driving license, which proved I lived in a different area. I offered to show it, but said perhaps it would be best if you didn't come in here again. Taking pictures of produce and price signs at a small grocery store while shopping. I was just trying to keep track of which stores had which food at cheaper prices so I could plan my shopping trips. Feeding the seagulls. We ruined the entire upper decks dining experience with a few French fries. Dozens, maybe 100 swarmed. It was like a scene from The Birds. People had to evacuate. Back in the late 1980s, I was in the Florida Keys with a group of friends. I got drunk and went to bed, and some of the guys went out bar hopping. The next morning, a deputy sheriff showed up at the place we were renting, told us to pack our things and he would escort us to the county line and we were not to come back. So not only did I get banned from an entire Florida county, I never did get a straight story about what the guys who were at the bar did to get us banned. Banned from the college cafeteria for taking in a digital food safety thermometer and a copy of the state health department temperature ranges. They were consistently 20 degrees Fahrenheit, 40 degrees Fahrenheit low, and food poisoning was a common problem. Got banned from a local Kmart about 25 years ago for figuring out that if you just slapped the handle on the old twist-turn candy dispensers that took a quarter, it would just give you free candy. Yeah, they call that stealing. Took my photo and everything. I tried to pay my cover entry fee to a bar one time with $2 bills, and instead of taking my money, the bouncer told me to leave in a not super polite manner. I got banned from the local orthodontist because during an appointment my mom asked the doctor why her degree was from the US. We live in France. She was genuinely curious and just wanted to talk, but for some reason the doctor took it really badly. He insulted my mom while I had the cheek retractor in my mouth and left the room. Fortunately, it was my penultimate appointment, and on the last one he was really aggressive and told us to never come back and go see someone else for my siblings. I was banned from Kmart. A friend and I went to the local one and took one of those air duster can things and froze bouncy balls with it. If you tip it upside down and spray it, a super cold liquid comes out, cold enough to freeze things and even cold burn you. We froze bouncy balls and shattered them on the ground. We did it to two of them. We were both banned. We were also 17 at the time. We were idiots. My family has been banned from a local Marco's Pizza for years because of my mom. She used to have some anger issues and also really loves garlic butter. When the Marcos forgot to include the garlic butter with the order, she called and asked them to deliver the single cup of garlic butter to her house. The Marcos reasonably said they can't do that, but she could come get it. She stormed over there with our pizza and proceeded to smear the whole thing on their windows and counters. Haven't had Marcos since. I used to work at a sushi restaurant. I got fire banned because I told the manager that some of the food smelled like it was expired and maybe we should throw it out. Next thing I know, she's giving me my check and kicking me out. Went to a bar that had newly opened with friends. Ordered some drinks, cocktails etc. They took forever to make it, and after an hour we still didn't have all the ordered drinks and some of the ones we did get were wrong. So we wanted to leave and requested a bill. They gave us the full bill, like they wanted us to pay even for the things we never got simply because we ordered them, and of course they expected a generous tip. We argued we would not pay for drinks we never got. They called us liars and a-holes, threatened to call the police, and from now on we were banned from that establishment. We told him we didn't mind and to go ahead and call the police. When he went into his bureau to call, we quickly calculated what we owed, slapped the money on the table and got the hell out of there. They went out of business after like half a year and had to sell the bar. The new owner is okay. Honest Yelp review of a shooty cupcake shop. That the owner violated numerous health codes, and so I reported her. Mice droppings on floor, counters. Owner smoked in doorway and someone showed images of ash on icing. Plus smoke sticks to food and complaints of smoke taste, and reviews were always removed. When a greedy slob tries to make money selling cupcakes, you can just tell. They probably don't remember, but I'm technically not allowed back in the Foggy Goggle in Boston. My friends and I did mind erasers, sweet booze with a straw that one drinks quickly, and decided that the entire bar needed to hear I Believe in a Thing Called Love sung at full voice. The staff did not agree. We were escorted out shortly after the song ended and asked to not return. A bar owner of a dangerous dive bar where I live got super drunk and enlisted the help of 10 regulars to beat the shit out of one of my friends. He was hospitalized and then they double charged me before we left, and then I was banned. It's been years and to this day we still don't know what started it. Somebody gets jumped behind the bar nearly every single night. So it was only a matter of time. I talked it over with my police officer buddy and they sent officers to request the recording of the parking lot from that night. The tapes we are missing and we were shoot out of luck. When I went to an all-you-can-eat Japanese food restaurant, and as I don't like raw Japanese food, I ate 5 dishes of grilled salmon. When I asked for the 6th dish, They kindly asked me to leave. Lol. My roommates and I, along with a few friends, went out to a bar one night to drink. We had grown a single beautiful watermelon in our yard and brought him along to party with us. Named him Walter Melon, pronounced Melon. We snuck the watermelon into the bar and generally just passed it around and praised him for being a good melon. At first the bouncers didn't care. They came up to us and just told us to be careful with it. One of my friends got pretty drunk and started holding it above his head and dancing with it. The bouncers had enough of our shenanigans and tried to take it. My drunk friend agreed with them that he'd leave with the melon. A few minutes later, my friend makes it back into the bar with the melon under his jacket. He had snuck in through the back and avoided the bouncers. Once they saw the melon again, they got pretty pissed lol and kicked us all out. We argued for our melon back, but to no avail. Rip Walter. Funnily enough, a group of dudes who left the bar had heard about the melon incident. As we were all hanging outside the bar waiting for an Uber, the dudes drove past, stopped and handed us a pumpkin lol. So we ended the night melonless. But with the new pumpkin friend, we got banned temporarily, but I could probably go back. One of my favorite sushi spots it was always at. I got to know all the waiters and staff because I went there so often. One day I went in there and there was a new woman behind the counter. She was hella rude to the customers and staff. Turns out the owner got married and this was his new wife. I didn't mind her being rude to me, it's whatever. The next time I went, she was being very disrespectful to the staff and the waiters that I really appreciated. I challenged her head on with the staff cheering me on. I got banned. Less than a year later they closed down. She shut them down. The reviews went from all great to a whole bunch of I can't stand that women.